Hey, good morning, and I hope you guys are doing amazing today. So, we're back. This is episode 4. We're, of course, writing a sci fi book. It's going to be a dark sci fi. Really excited about the progress we've been making. I'm going to get chat up so I can see what's going on. I'll go over a lot um, of what's occurred over just like the last week or weekend, to be honest. Last time we were writing on this was Friday. We've got a huge chunk of the understanding of where we're going with the story and stuff, but luckily, a different resource helped me have a absolute evolution of basically what I thought we were doing. And so I will have to say I found an additional resource. Um, Another streamer called King Ads suggested a book to me like a couple weeks ago. I started listening to it, and YouTube, being the genius it is, decided to recommend randomly this dude's writing class that he has. And what happened is Brandon Sanders, I don't know if you guys know who he is. He has 54 books, though. And we'll go to his thing real quick. I'm going to totally tell you guys, if you guys are writing a book, not only are the Tell Foundry a great resource, Quinn's Ideas a great resource, but this Brandon Sanders guy, he writes super, super famous type books, in all honesty. And he has his entire college course that he teaches, and he's pumped out some writers. So what happened is I started listening to all these lectures that he has on plot structure, on creation of the plots, on introductions. Basically, um, the guy's a genius. I legitimately will tell you, I don't know how many videos he has on just writing, but obviously a crapload. I'm watching his college course lecture series, in which I'm nowhere near through it. I wonder if he has it as a playlist. Well, it's not as a playlist, so you just have to. Here, yeah, 14 lectures from his BYU lecture series. I'm going to let you guys know his lecture series, along with his advice on writing, I'm not anywhere near through. I'm only to 4. I haven't even finished the 4th video yet. I'm very excited about getting past that into more of his evolved stuff. Um, just what I've been able to learn from his philosophy on writing, his writings on. Oh, it's a gold mine. This guy's a genius. Like, I did not realize how. I'd never heard of his books, so I did start listening to one of his books. It's super well written. It's super from an introspective type writing style. He has wrote fantasies, sci-fis. This guy could kick out any kind of book, and he understands literally the structure of books to a different level than what I would have known. So I now understand how I was structuring our book is probably not the best way. I'm going to get through all of these guys, and this is probably going to evolve over the period of while we're writing it. Um, it actually made me really happy with some of what we've done because our world building part, where we were building the world, super, super well done. This part where I dictated how many chapters we're going to have, we're going to flip that to a question mark. Honestly, um, I don't know how many chapters we're going to have. Doesn't even matter, right? We're going to make sure we have a good story. So I realized, though, right off the bat, you know how we talked about how we're attempting to get to that space Hulk right here. So that's actually a subplot, and the type of plot style that subplot where we're trying to get to the prison Hulk and get somebody out of a cryo prison, that's actually a heist subplot. So I realized that we have actually a different structure to our story than I would have thought before. Like, I didn't realize that we had multiple plots going on. We have an overarching hero's journey plot going on, of course. I'm happy with our world building, but I'm going to let you know I realized that the way I kind of structured it was very restrictive for no reason. Not the world building part, but where we got down here to the chapter part. Um, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, we know now, or I know now, that we'll likely start off with a prologue. I'm going to explain why, and I'm going to tell you guys if you guys watch his stuff, you'll be like, oh, that's super important. Right off the bat, we will have a prologue in the book. I'm going to tell you the reason why we're going to have the prologue. Hey, Sun90 and hey, Vital Duck. I hope you guys are having a just epic, epic morning. The reason we're going to have a prologue is because during a story, you're really establishing multiple things with the reader. And I didn't realize what really goes into a successful book because I haven't wrote a bunch of books. In fact, this will be my first actual, like, hey, writing that's not academic based writing, in which it's just fiction. We're pulling stuff out our butt, right? Hey, good morning, Avalonus. So, what you're trying to establish in the very beginning of a book is some kind of character promise with the audience. Like, we're wanting to establish, look, we're going to go on this journey and these changes are going to occur, in which then, because we've established some kind of promise or an overall story arc promise and character arc promise with people, then we're able to establish progress. If we don't establish some kind of promise early on, right? And this is not going to be a prostitute anymore. We're getting rid of that. Honestly, um, that's going to be, we're going to put this as an ex girlfriend, right? Of course, they're going to nail me on that. We're going to use this because honestly, a prostitute wouldn't have any emotional interest with it. It was saying some stuff at him. An ex girlfriend that he hooked back up with and partied all night and was out of control, um, you know what I mean, is going to be a different thing. We're going to be able to establish, hey, you're not in the right place in life there. Now, because we want to be able to jump straight into the story, and I don't want to have to do like 2 or 3 chapters where we build the world in the book with a bunch of chapter after chapter where we're building the world. I'm going to come back in here, and in the prologue, we're actually going to build out the world for the reader. And so we're going to use the world to establish the genre promise that this is the world you're going to be in early off. Does this make sense? You know, which I didn't realize these tools. This guy, guys, if you guys are looking at doing this, this is seriously, this is his college course recorded. And literally, I would not have known. You know how you don't know until you know, or you only know what you know? This is that situation where this guy has got such a profound amount of knowledge on writing and has written so many books that he sees it from a different level of where he's not just like, I'm going to write some stuff. This guy legitimately conceptually understands writing and the relationship you're building with the reader on a level that I will tell you I strive to get. Like I would love honestly to just have the depth of knowledge on a subject in the regards that he has. And on top of that, his books are really good too. I'm still actually getting through some of his actual fiction books, but I got all caught up in this since Friday and obviously spent hours and hours and hours listening to his lectures and revising kind of what I thought we were doing. I wouldn't have realized that I was about to change course in such a great manner. I can tell you that we now have a better understanding how to formulate the stuff. I can tell you that I realize now that we likely have also a Act 1 type situation right here, in which Act 1 is going to be the heist part of the book, right? We're going to then, so this is going to change. Obviously, our chapters are about to be redone. We only have 1 hour today, so we will get into some stuff. But because Act 1 gets us up to the betrayal and the prison hulk, right? We're going to be on Act 2 by this point right here, just so you guys know. I really see this differently now, and I understand that the way we could have organized it could have been better. So we know somebody will die. We know that we're switching to more of a traditional style of heist for Act 1. So Act 1, of course, we're going to have the what happens, the thing that pushes him into the criminal activity, which he's already a criminal, obviously, right? We're not pretending that he's not a criminal. So here's what's going to happen. The Here's where he gets offered the job. We now know that this is not going to be Act 4 at all. I mean, Chapter 4 at all. So we can kick this and we can delete that out. We don't know what chapter that is. That's later on after we're already in course, and we can already say that that's not chapter 5, correct? So at this point, we know that this is definitely not going to be chapter 6. So at this point, I'd say we have no structure to our chapters past here because we know that at this point, he's going to get this job, right, as a person doing the um, stuff to, like the heist. So because we're now back to a traditional heist type book, we know at this point we're going to be doing the assemble, boom, structure right here. We know we'll be assembling the team. I don't know what that team's assembly is going to look like exactly. This is the space trip in which this is part of, hey, we're going to get what we need. So chapter 4 is going to be assembling the team. Okay. So during the space trip, blah, blah, blah. I honestly, this is literally not going to probably be its own. This is going to be, I don't know if this is going to be needed. Like that, honestly, we'll leave that in there, but we might just um, blast that right out, but we'll probably leave it in there. Up here, we're going to assemble the team and get the need on most excuse me, I was drinking a bunch of coffee and somehow I had the hiccups right there or something going on. Most of the needed items, obviously one of the most needed items is the data information. I'm going to say we go back here and we're likely to change some stuff. Um, Let me look over this. I kind of want to just look over what we have. Real quick, we have everything organized in the upper part. Our character is broke. He is looking to score, so he's not looking. So This is not gonna be in. We're gonna drop this out. That boom, just like that. We're getting rid of that. Our character is broke, and after a night of drugged out sex with an ex girlfriend, right? He goes to his friends. So, this part where he goes to his friends, that's going to be, let's copy paste that. That's obviously going to be a different thing, right? Yeah. So, let's go to chapter 2. Drop that there. This is going to be honestly chapter 2 right there. We're going to have I'm going to flush that up. He goes to his friends, convince him to give him money so he can go get a hookup from the drug dealer. This is all more cohesive as a single. When he goes to get the stuff, of course, the drug dealer is going to take the money because he already owns debts. This we're going to have to write up a little bit better because of the technopathic ability. Um, this honestly where he's going to get offered a job. So let's drop this back here. Boom, because we know that that's going to happen. And we now realize that this chapter 3 right here is going to be kicked out here. Maybe this is actually in chapter 3. Now that we realize that he is going to accomplish all that stuff in chapter 2. See how this is flowing better though, you guys? I don't know what happens in chapter 4. This could be chapter 4. That could be chapter 4. I don't know right this second. So let's get rid of chapter 4 as a thing that exists. I'm going to let you guys know that, guys, understanding a story structure and what should occur within a structure, super like it's worth listening to his lecture. I'm going to just tell you guys, I haven't got through all of them because holy crap. But see how this is coming together. So here's the deal. We know that the girlfriend is going to bitch him out, basically, because he's got his shit not together. And I know that they just both did drugs together and stuff like that. But this is going to be a final hookup scenario. Okay, so she's planning on leaving, heading somewhere. I got to write that up. I don't know where that is yet. You know, like it's a way. And that's going to be rude, meanness, blah, blah, blah. Okay, our prologue. The prologue, we're going to take tons of the information out of up here where we did our world building, and we're going to establish the world they're in down here in the prologue. That is going to allow us to not have to sit there and spend 4 chapters establishing the world, right? So I haven't got to a section on writing prologues yet. I kind of listened. I mean, he covers them a little bit. So I know that our prologue is supposed to set the promise of this is the kind of book you're reading. Does this make sense? So we're going to use it for that. And we're going to use it to establish. Got a little confused with the page numbers there. I didn't understand what was going on. Well, we'll figure that out later. I don't even know what's going on. There's 5s up there, there's 4s up there. I don't know what that is. So let's do the prologue to a point. Now, this is a rough of the prologue. Obviously, I don't actually have an idea of exactly what I'm doing with the prologue. So let's not pretend that we're going to have this in stone. But the thing is, this is going to let us move forward. And by moving forward, this book will be finished. Does that make sense? We're just going to move forward, move forward. Good morning, Kilman, and good morning, Avalonus. I hope you guys are both doing amazing. So here's the reality of the prologue. Um, I guess we're going to move past the outline right now, right? Because we're not going to have a full outline. We're going to write and we're going to end up with just a book. By next time we come back, this will be on its separate thing, basically, or maybe not. I don't honestly know. I haven't made a plan for that exactly. So we know we're in a galaxy left in ruin from, and I believe it's an intra galactic conflict. Let's Google that. Yes. Boom. So Star Wars is an intergalactic because it all happens within one cluster, the Milky Way. This is an intragalactic conflict. Just I needed to make sure that I was using the right word. Okay, good to know. Looks like there's a lot of intergalactic conflicts type stuff. Boom. And honestly, I'm trying to figure out exactly how we do the whole thing on how to write it best, but I don't feel that the way I'm starting out there is the best way, but we can always make it better once it's got down on something. You know what I mean? Like, well, it's just in our head, it's never going to improve, basically. So let's, in a galaxy left in ruin from an intergalactic conflict between. Mm, okay, boom, they've got that fixed for us. Let's read through this. In a galaxy left in ruins from an intergalactic conflict between the myriad and the populations of elves and humans. What are we going to be? Like, the climax of destruction became so great at the height. Uh, And not left, let's see, being brought to ruin. Because it was being brought to ruin at the time that they show up, right? So in a galaxy being brought to ruin from an intragalactic conflict between the myriad and the population of humans and elves, the climax of destruction became so great with death and the wielding of great magical forces that it brought. Okay, and we're dimension. Sorry, misspelt dimension. We don't want to do that. Okay, so this is what we have so far in our prologue. Now, obviously, more will go into the prologue. This will get better organized in a galaxy being brought to ruin from an intergalactic conflict between the myriad and the populations of humans and elves. I'll change that wording at one point. This is why we get rough drafts, right? We can just get the idea out on paper in full, and then we can make it better. But once it's out on paper, it's improvable. By the way, he let me know, well, he didn't let me know personally, but in his lecture, he lets you know that at one point he was really having a rough time. He had written a bunch of books, but they weren't doing that well. And one of his friends, that's not that good of a writer, but like is a great revisionist, was just dominating. And so that's when he learned that revision is the best part of how you get a good book. So we don't have to actually throw something out that's good at first. I mean, like the better it is, the better it is, right? But reality wise, revision's where it's going to get good, guys. Like, once we have stuff out, we'll review through it. We'll be like, boom, boom. Plus, on top of that, revisions where we're going to make sure the continuity is correct. Okay. These ancient horrors unleash the destruction, led to the decimation of many. Okay. So at this point, we're going to grab. Let's say we're going to establish a how long, right? Hid away for what do we like? 200 and I got two D20s and a 10, a D10. So you guys are knowing. 226 years. Okay. Yeah, boom. I think that that's the correct rescind, but if that's not the correct, thank you for catching the double four right there, Google. Okay, so everybody waited 226 years for the destruction to rescind. Let's say it's how are we trying to say this? After an additional, but I don't think that that's what we're trying to say, really. You know what I'm saying? Using everything from technology to magic, many of the societies hid away for 226 years, waiting for the tide of destruction to rescind. After no signs, okay, so now 'Let's do another. Figure out how long. 25. Now, after 25 years, the tensions between old and new factions are rising. Okay, are we saying promise to reemerge? Now, this could be changed later, you guys. I knew I was going to spell that wrong. The odds on that. reemerged. I don't want it to be separated like that. I think we can hyphenate it and get away with it, guys. Just so you guys know. So we've got our prologue rough drafted right there, guys. Everybody feels that? Okay. I feel that. I feel we have a prologue. Woo! Isn't that crazy? Right like that. Everybody feels that we have a prologue. In a galaxy being brought to ruin. I don't know why that took. Brought to ruin from an. In a galaxy brought to ruin. Not being. We're just brought to ruin. Because this is all in the past. So we're going to try to. Thank you, Vital Duck. In a galaxy brought to ruin from an intergalactic conflict between. Okay, boom. We need to put a comma there. No, I meant intra. I meant intra for sure. Let's double check that we're spelling it right. No, no, we want intra. Oh, is it going to be an interstellar war? Yeah, okay. No, no, we're using this one. Never mind. I'm wrong, guys. We always got to watch this stuff. This is why. Copy paste spell check. Oh, see. 22. Dun, 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 dun. We'll just type it in. Whoa, 122. That would have been weird. Boom. We want to get rid of whatever the crap background color they have going on. Boom. And we want that to be a cohesive, the same color as everything else. Boom. In a galaxy brought to ruin from an intergalactic conflict between the myriad and the population of humans and elves, the climax of destruction became so great with death. You know, I'll reword this sentence later on. This is a rough draft, so all we got to do is get some stuff down, right? Death and the wielding of great magical forces. Okay, we're going to go caused psionics. Psionics is S. I'm always trying to put that one in there. Guys, you guys know what psionics is. Psionics and okay, boom. So now we're at the climax of destruction became so great with death caused by the wielding of great magical forces, psionics, and technology that it brought attention to our dimension from ancient beings beyond our understanding. These ancient horrors soon breached through the barriers between their own dimension, between their own dimension and ours. Boom, comma, unleashing destruction. Well, we already have destruction. So, uncomprehendable destruction. We got to upgrade the destruction, you guys. And leading to the decimation of most worlds. Using everything from technology to magic. We can just write at their disposal, right? Because we already established the technology and magic. Many societies hid away for 226 years, waiting for the tide of destruction to rescind. After no signs of the horrors that had breached this dimension, mankind and other races began emerging from their hiding places and pushing back into space. Now, after 25 years, the tensions between old and new factions are rising as long forgotten threats promise to reemerge. I'm okay with that. That sounds okay. I mean, we'll make it better. That's a that's a prologue right there. We have a little prologue, a blurb that sets the setting. Does everybody feel that sets the setting? Now we go to our character. I don't have a name for our character, but I feel in the this headset, I'm going to get one of those microphones that just sits there and doesn't turn itself off after not having sound in the things for so long. We don't have that yet. I don't have that yet. I might get that though. Seriously, I'm going to look into it. I notice a lot of people have those DJ microphones. I kind of think we need one of those. Okay, our character's broke. We already so this is established. Let's start working on chapter 1. Obviously, we're moving past the whole idea of the other stuff where we're just outlining and we're writing now, right? Super exciting about that part. Okay. Okay. Obviously, our outline's just going to be right. We're just going straight to writing, you guys. Let me read this. Our character is broke. This is true. We'll establish that in this. Um, I'm not going to write up the sex scenes because we're live streaming. And in all honesty, I don't want monetization damages and stuff like that. So all of that will be off stream, except we're going to allude to them. And those are all going to take place like after, at like maybe draft 2 or draft 3. I don't know where. So let me think of how we're starting this off, right? Now that we've established our stuff, it doesn't matter as much. I'm trying to think of our character's name, so I'm gonna sit here for 1 second while we actually. I want him to not be like a normal name though. We don't have to establish it right this second. I'll get that in 1 second. Okay, so he's gonna be struggling to wake and bring himself to a non-stupid. We don't need that. That's extra words for no reason. Hmm. Let's. What are we thinking? Our guy's name is Sam. Okay, so Sam felt the disconnection of the data link. So they used a data link, right? And I'm going to explain this. And honestly, I probably could make that. We'll probably fix that. I don't know if data link is done right. Maybe data link is a single word. Is data link a single word? Oh, it is. Good. Okay. Ex-girlfriend. Ex-girlfriend. We're using. Okay, so they're basically using this data link to share each other's pleasure during their drugged out sex, basically. Okay, so they were both got wildly stuffed, and then they jacked each other into each other so they could share each other's stuff. Uh, blah blah blah. Obviously, girl wakes up earlier, disconnects the data link, right? Uh, let's let's think over this real quick. Well, that was supposed to. Okay, boom. We've got a whole. Oh, boom. Linking. Okay, boom. So, struggling to wake and bring himself to a non stupid state, Sam felt the disconnection of the data link linking him and his ex girlfriend. So, this is where we've got our main character. So, we go back up to this sub characters, main characters crap. Where do we have our main characters written down? Creatures, blah, blah. We don't have a main character written down. Okay. So we're going to go main character right now. We're going to get that down. Sam. And Sam is going to have a common last name that's not Sam. Not um let's look up this. Whew. Sam's last name is Aiden. I think that's Aiden. I don't know if it is. Or do we want to go Kalik? Sam Kalik or Sam Aiden? I like Sam Aiden. Sounds good, you guys. I'm going to tell you. That's what we're going with. So, we've already made him not as boring by giving him a non like Sam Smith, because that would be boring. And we know some stuff about him already. Oh, I think it's going to be fun. We know that he has a data link, obviously, because he's using it to do the hookup with the girl, right? And we know up here, our guy is also, because we do have some information on him. I'm going to have to really organize this better, you guys. Space Vikings. I'm excited about the Space Vikings. Where's our guy? We know some stuff about him already. Or did I just say the stuff and we didn't write it? I felt that I just said the stuff and we didn't write the stuff on him, right? It's okay. We'll write it now because we know what's up. We already established that he's a gifted technopath and well, I'm going to just make sure we didn't write it already somewhere. Oh, here it is. Boom, main character. We have this. Look at that, guys. We'll steal this right out of that. And we'll go back down here. We even have disposable characters. Oh, look at this. Well, don't worry. We'll fix this. Obviously, that I just messed it all up. Well, we don't need it doubled done right there, so we'll just go like this. Boom. And we just fixed that crap right there, you guys. The Space Vikings I'm excited about. I don't know, somebody that's not fun. The Space Vikings are going to know magic. Hey, thank you, whoever that was. I'll check right now and we'll find out what just happened. I can never. Hey, Omith Hassan, I hope you're having a great day. I can't see that for a second. It's delayed on this other screen for some reason. I don't know why. I don't agree with them delaying it. Now we can delete out this because we already have this down here. This is about to be pimp. So we've got Sam Aiden. The main character is from the Confederation of Planets. He has lived on one of the largest industrial space stations for his whole life. Um, he is a junkie and a womanizer. He is brilliant and a technopath with the ability to fill and manipulate most technology with an unknowing dormant gift of technomancy. That's what we're saying. For most of his life, he has used his intelligence and gifts for giving the next high or sleeping with whatever girl he currently fancies. He is unable to maintain any real relationship, which we already are going to know. Um, yeah, he is kind of like he's a mess. We're going to have him not a mess by the end of this, you guys. The whole idea is he's going to eventually get his crap together to be able to be used competently in later books that will cover other people, but he will then be a consistent character in which we won't have to explain his backstory because there's a whole book on how he got to where he is. So it won't just seem like we just like made up a guy. We're going to write a book to backstory a guy. I don't know if that's extreme. I don't know if it's not extreme. It might be. His story arc is that through brutal means and the loss as slowly. Okay. Yeah. I wrote that wrong. Means. Okay. His story arc is that through brutal means and the losses of friends and others, he will slowly get himself together. Comma. Okay. So basically, he's going to unlock his full potential or most of his potential by the end of the book. He won't be a freaking total mess. That's the plan. Oh, yeah, no, the Minotaurs were, because Minotaurs, they like to die nobly. I don't know why that is. Everybody likes a noble dying Minotaur. And Minotaurs, in my mind, the original myth behind the Minotaur is a creepy one, though, you guys. Not going to get into it, but basically, a queen becomes obsessed with a bull that was supposed to be offered to Poseidon. So Poseidon gets mad, right? So Poseidon gives this king this perfect bull to be sacrificed to him, but the king decides instead to sacrifice a lesser bull because he's like greedy and he decides to keep that bull to breed. Well, what happens is Poseidon, I don't remember who he sends, but basically they put a lust spell on the queen. And the queen falls in love with the bull. And then she, like, through like means that are kind of creepy, um, gets the bull to mount her. No crap. This is mythology. And then their offspring is the hideous Minotaur. Yeah, it's a whole if the story of the Minotaurs, and then they put it in a maze. Like the Minotaur kid keeps killing servants and stuff, and yeah, I'm gonna just let you know mythology. It's some creepy stuff. Sometimes you're like, seriously, but yeah, that's the story of the Minotaur, guys. Creepy punishment because Poseidon was pissed off because the dude didn't sacrifice the bull he gave him to sacrifice to him, and made the queen fall in love with the bull and then get mounted by the bull, producing the offspring that was the Minotaur. That's not what we're doing. Our Minotaurs are genetically modified humans in which there's a huge amount of different races of humans because of the genetic modifications. And we already established that that's part of the reason the elves blame everything on the humans because they're like, you guys brought this about on us because of your abominations and blah, blah, blah. Fascinating stuff. How did it get six already, you guys? I don't think it should be six already. Okay, so on Friday, we're going to be back onto this and we're going to be writing more. Um, we're going to get chapter one done. I'm going to bet we get chapter two done. I don't even know we don't get chapter three done. So we know Act one is a heist plot line because they're going to go to the prison Hulk and they're going to heist the cryo chamber that our corporate girl is in, right? So this is going to be a very typical layout, except that we're going to have space Vikings involved and all kinds of other stuff. So I don't know how typical, but it's going to be like a heist in space against a space prison Hulk for Act 1. Then, at the end of Act 1, he gets betrayed. Boom. Now, this part is going to be more of the development of the hero's journey. By the end of Act 2, we won't have him such a mess. Act 3 is almost always, hey, look, this is where we get hardcore, we start kicking some butt, and we earn redemption, right? Let's put an underline under this. Act 3. So at this point, I'm going to tell you guys I have no idea how many chapters we're going to be. I think that we'll probably get 6 chapters just in the Act 1. So my idea right back here where we were going to just bust this out in 10 chapters or something like that, after listening to that guy's stuff, the Brandon Sanders, everything, I'm gonna let you know. I realize that we're not doing that. We're not even attempting to do that. Um, these two alone, this plot stuff right here, super powerful, you guys. I'm gonna listen to more of this by Friday before we write again. I'm gonna be working on this in my head the whole time. The whole time. I also have got to catch up on Italian learning before tomorrow morning. We're going to do Italian tomorrow morning. I honestly think that learning a foreign language is helping to develop the way I think about things. So I'm kind of like a big, hey, that's good to do. This guy's books, though, you guys, if you guys are thinking about writing a book, no crap. This guy has 54 books. And they're like novels. This guy doesn't write little wussy books, and he's friends and has developed tons of authors. Like he pumps out and helps develop like at least 2 to 3 authors that become best-selling authors per year in his classes that he teaches. Which I know that sounds like a crazy thing to say, but this guy is crazy good. Like crazy good. I've listened to dozens and dozens of these other people writing and telling advice on writing books. Legitimately, they're good. I'm not going to argue that they're good. They're not as good as this guy. This guy makes writing sound like he breaks it down so easily, like even like plots of like romances. He'll like break down the structure of a romance novel and like explain it in a manner in which it's so organized that legitimately you're like, holy crap, anybody could just throw one of those out. And so super excited about this moving forward. Obviously an hour went by like that. Friday we're going to knock out more. We have 2 hours on Friday. I'm going to attempt to get it to where we have just 2 hours period on Monday. I mean, not Monday, but Wednesdays and Fridays so that we can just bust a book out like crazy fast. This guy busts books out, just busts them out. I'm going to raid over to somebody real quick. It's going to, of course, be an Entropia Universe person. I know you guys are shocked. Let me find somebody. Who are we gonna raid over to? Do you guys have a preference here? Because you guys can see who they're pulling up. Obviously, those people are not in Tropia Universe. Um, it's Encore. He's a nice guy. Let's do it's Encores. Let's see what he's doing first. I don't want to raid over to somebody that's not. Oh, he's doing stuff. Yeah, let's raid over to him. Okay, guys, I want to thank you guys so much for waking up, hanging out in the morning. Wait, is Kat there? Hold on 1 second. Let me see if Kat was there. I didn't see her, but. Oh! I will raid Kat. You guys are right. I haven't raided her ever before. I didn't even know she had a YouTube channel, so we'll get her. And then what we'll do is I'll follow her at the same time. You guys, thank you guys so much for being epic and looking out for me so much and channel supporting. I hope you guys have a freaking awesome, awesome day.